So you're thinking about a move to Woodinville, Washington, and you want to know the pros and the cons, the good and the bad, before you make such an important decision.
Well, in today's video, we are going to cover just that. We're going to go over the top pros and the top cons to give you a good idea of what it would be like to live in Woodinville, Washington. And we are going to get after it right now.
If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything about living in Greater Seattle and locations like Woodinville, then definitely hit that subscribe button and tap the bell for notifications so you be the first to know about upcoming videos and our current market.
My name is Jess.
And my name's Sterling.
We're local realtors. Our team gets calls and emails every day from people just like you looking to make their move here, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're planning to make that move next week, next month, or even next year, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love to help you make your move to the Greater Seattle area.
So let's jump into our first pro, and I have to confess we are getting over colds, so sorry for the voices. And just for a little bit of context, Woodinville is located just northeast of Seattle, just north of Kirkland. It's about a 30-minute drive to Seattle in good traffic, and the population size is about 13,000 people currently.
Now, it is important to note that that is within the city limits of Woodinville. However, there is a large portion that is not in the city limits of Woodinville that do have Woodinville addresses. So those addresses are going to be in unincorporated King County and unincorporated Snohomish County. So coming in at our first pro for Woodinville is the fact that it has a very unique and rural feel to it. You have large lots, tall trees, big wide open space in Woodinville.
Yeah, it's that unique country feel close to the city that you just don't get in many places in Greater Seattle. So if you want that quieter lifestyle, the slower pace of life, yet close to all the amenities and all the action, Woodinville could really be a good fit.
And similarly to our last pro is the fact that Woodinville has equestrian properties. So if you're into horses and living that lifestyle, Woodinville would be a fantastic fit for you.
Yeah, our kids and we enjoy driving through and visiting, and at times we'll see the horses grazing or people riding, and it just really adds to that charm, that country feeling, yet so close to the city.
Yeah, in fact, I have a friend who unfortunately can't live in Woodinville because she needs to live in the city because of her work. However, she boards her horse out in Woodinville. So even if you don't own a horse, there are a lot of places out there where you can do riding lessons and just enjoy that lifestyle.
Another great advantage to living in Woodinville is the proximity to other places. So you're not far from Seattle or Bellevue. You can get to Bellevue in about 20 minutes. You can get to Seattle about 25-30 minutes in good traffic, of course. And it borders Kirkland and Redmond to the south, and Bothell is just to the west of Woodinville.
Yeah, so it's a fantastic location, especially if you work in the tech sector in the east side, or if you want those big city amenities. You are within 20 minutes to Alderwood Mall in Linwood, which is north, and again 20 minutes to Bellevue Square Mall, which is south. So you have that nice urban or suburban rural feel, but you're also so close to the big city amenities.
Just keep in mind those times that we're quoting, whether it's to Seattle or Bellevue or to the malls,
is not during
good
rush
traffic,
hour.
because you'll hear soon one of the cons is during those traffic times. It can get really bottlenecked.
So another pro is that Woodinville has a sense of community. So not only does it have a small downtown center that's great for the locals, but it also has great wine districts. In fact, there are 4 wine districts. There are wineries and distilleries and wine tasting rooms.
Yeah, you can't talk about Woodinville without mentioning all of the great tasting rooms. So there are over 100 tasting rooms in Woodinville, and no, the grapes are not grown in Western Washington.
It's too rainy here.
Yeah, our climate, we don't have the heat for the grapes to ripen and sweeten, but we do have some great vineyards in Eastern Washington. And then once all that is processed, they bring the bottles over here for us to taste. And Woodinville has some excellent wineries, and we'll talk about the most famous winery in just a moment.
And another great thing about that is it brings in a steady flow of people. So we talked about how Woodinville does have that rural feel to it, but it also, because of the wineries and the tasting rooms and everything, it does bring in more people from outside of the community. And so that does help it have a little bit more of vibrancy to it.
Yeah, and speaking of which, if Jess and I are looking for a chance to get away from the kids and just have kind of a quiet time together, going to one of the wineries that we know we enjoy or a new one is always a great time. So if you are looking for something to do, check it out. It could be a good date night.
Definitely. And as Sterling mentioned before, the most famous winery in our area is Chateau Ste Michelle. In fact, that's where we started the vlog tour on that video. And not only is it great to tour the grounds and the property and enjoy wine tasting, but in the summer months, it has a great concert series. And we have world-renowned artists who come and play. It's all outdoors. It's just relaxing and a really fun way to enjoy the wine country in Woodinville.
And our last pro for living in Woodinville, Washington are the great schools you can find there. Woodinville is in the North Shore School District primarily. However, there are a couple of elementary schools that are located in the Lake Washington School District, and both of those are extremely highly rated.
Yeah, according to niche.com, they both have an A+ rating. Lake Washington School District is ranked as number 3 in Washington State, and North Shore is ranked as number 5 in Washington State. So you cannot go wrong with the schools in Woodinville. Now for the cons. But first, if you're seriously considering calling Woodinville home, then be sure to check out our other 2 videos. We have a vlog neighborhood walking tour where we look at 3 different homes and 3 different price points, give you some great footage of Woodinville itself, as well as a map video that shows you where different things are located within Woodinville, as well as Woodinville and its location to the surrounding areas in Greater Seattle. So be sure to check those out.
Every location, every city and suburb has its cons, and Woodinville is no exception. The very first con is the fact that you are car dependent. So because of its rural aspect and charm, you can't walk everywhere. Now, it does have that small downtown corridor, but even there, you won't find all the stores that you can in other parts of Greater Seattle. So the fact is, it might just be a little too rural for you if that's what you're looking, if you're looking for more of an urban feel.
Yeah, and if you're looking for like a vibrant nightlife, while it does have the wine district and it does have restaurants and wine tasting rooms, if you're not into that type of thing, then you probably will find it a little bit boring as well.
Yeah, many of the tasting rooms close at 6, or some are open as late as 8 o'clock, but that's not really a vibrant nightlife scene for many people. So yeah, once again, you're car dependent in Woodinville, and that could be a non-issue for many people, but for those of you who are looking for the city hustle and bustle, that is going to be a con.
Next up on our cons list is that it has a high cost of living. So currently the median home value in Woodinville is $1.1 million. Now, I will say that you are going to get more of a house and a larger lot than some of the other suburbs that have a similar median home value in the Greater Seattle area. However, you do need a healthy income to support that lifestyle.
Yeah, that's right. Seattle, at the time of this recording, the median sales price is about $850,000, and in Bellevue, it's about $1,350,000. So Woodinville is right in the middle of those two, but you are getting a lot larger lot for the same money, and sometimes more house as well.
Another con is that because of the way that Woodinville is situated, it can get very congested and backed up during rush hour. So it has the Sammamish River that runs through part of it. It has farmlands. So the main roads that get into and out of Woodinville can get very backed up during that rush hour time.
Now, the solution to this is don't go to work, just work from home. Kidding aside, if you do need to commute, then of course this is a concern during those heavy rush hours, because as Jess said, your access is limited to only a few access points. So keep this in mind. If you do need to commute, it is a little bit easier getting into Bellevue because that's a little closer, but it still is, even though you're not that far away during the rush hour, it can take you a while to get to downtown Bellevue and even longer to downtown Seattle.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have very good, while it does have back roads, it just doesn't have very good alternate routes to get out to the main freeway I-405. So yeah, definitely something you need to keep in mind to figure out what your daily commute is going to be like. And the last con on our list is the fact that because Woodinville is further out from the city, and it does have that big space and lots of trees, it will tend to have more power outages. So that is something that you will want to keep in mind. You'll want to make sure that you have some alternate form of power, like a generator system, just for those times when the power does go out, because unlike the city, where they will try to get those power lines fixed rather quickly, it may take a little bit longer in Woodinville.
Of course, there are more details to Woodinville. As Jess mentioned, we have 2 other videos, a map tour and a vlog that get you more facts, figures, and get you more acquainted with the area. And if you are considering Woodinville, it's ideal for those of you who want to be outside of the city, who just want that country living feel. It's not going to be the right fit if you do want the urban feel, and we just went over these in our pros and cons.
We hope that you enjoyed today's video, and whether you're thinking to move next week, next month, or next year, give us a call, send us a text. We'd love to help you make your move to the greater Seattle area.